Hola estudiantes. Today we are going to try and find some trucos para memorizar las preposiciones. The test is coming, and I know for me, the prepositions are the hardest to remember. They don't look like any English words. They kind of all look alike sometimes to me. So let's go over them and see if we can find some ways to help us to remember which ones are which. All right, so here to me are the three hardest ones. Delante de, meaning in front of. Detrás de, meaning behind. We don't say behind of, but they do. Y debajo de, meaning beneath or below. Again, we don't say beneath of or below of, but they say debajo de. Okay, so if you notice, I have highlighted some of these letters. They all start with DE. So to me, they all look the same. They all end with de. So everything in the middle is just a bunch of mess that I can't understand. So I have learned that the letter L for delante, see it's DE then L, DE then T. Okay, the DE then L comes before T in the alphabet. So the L goes in front of the T. So delante would be in front of. Okay, detrás then, the T goes behind the letter L. So detrás de means behind. Now I know you're going to get to debajo and you're going to say, but the letter B, Mrs. Leonard, look at the B. It goes in front of everything. It does. So you're going to have to focus on the letter J. If you will notice, the letter J is the only one that goes underneath all the other letters. See how the J goes under? It is going beneath or below the other ones. So debajo de is beneath or below. So that's one of the tricks that I use to help me to remember which one is which. Let's see what's next. Okay. A la derecha de means to the right of. A la izquierda de means to the left of. You have to use all of those words. You can't just say go right. You have to say go a la izquierda de. So you've got to say the whole phrase. Now, do you see those thumbs up signs? Can you do that with your thumbs right now? Do that with both of your thumbs. And as you'll notice, one of them, I'm going to use my cursor to show you. One of them forms like the letter B right here. And this other one forms like the letter D right there. So we're looking for something that begins with the letter D. It's not this one. That one does not look like the letter D. That looks like the letter B. But this one, straight line down and then around, that is the letter D. Which hand is it that is making the correct letter D? It is your right hand. So your right hand is la derecha because it forms the letter D, la derecha, your right hand. So that must mean that la izquierda must mean your left hand, and I don't have a cute little thing to help you with izquierda. You just know that derecha, you have to find out which of your hands makes the D for derecha. And that's what you'll know. All right, al lado de means next to. And as you'll notice, the two L's that are in red, they're next to each other. I've separated them because otherwise I'm afraid it look like two L's together that make a Y sound, and I didn't want to confuse the issue. Al lado de means next to. The L's are next to one another. All right. Encima de means on top of. It's assumed that it's on top of. Now, if you'll go with me to Google Translate, and if we say the word on, they translate it to en. But just to confuse things a little bit more, it also means in. Okay, so this word en for encima, it means on. So encima means on top of. So those are my tricks for helping me to remember the prepositional phrases. Oops, there's one more. Aquí and allí. Aquí means here. Where is it? Aquí. Oh, but where is it? Allí. It's over there. Now, please remember that they have accent marks. And also this allí, please don't say ali. Okay, it's not a thing. The two L's together make a Y sound. So let's look at them one at a time. This aquí, I used instead a little arrow to show you that it's right here. This one little thing there, one little eye, looks like an arrow to me. It's here. Allí. Allí is over there. So to use your two fingers to point over there, that is allí. And that's it. Those are the prepositions that we need to know for our test. These are the prepositions that we will use in today's exercise. I know that there are other prepositions out there, and I know that some of you know them. But if you do the Google Forms and use a different word, it will mark it wrong. So please use the vocabulary that we are focusing on for this unit. Let's look over them one more time. Delante de. L comes before T in the alphabet, so L goes in front of. Delante. Detrás. The T comes after. It is behind the other letter, so it is detrás is behind. And debajo. That letter J, of all of the D words, it's the only one that goes beneath or below the line as you are writing it. Okay, a la derecha. Remember, put your two thumbs up. Which one of them forms the letter D? The letter it is the right hand. La derecha is your right. So that means izquierda is your left. And al lado de, the two L's are right next door to each other. Next to. Encima de. Encima. En can mean on. So encima means on. Aquí. Use your one finger and point to where you're sitting. Aquí. Now use two pointer fingers and point to another part of the room and say allí. Those are your prepositions. Now you're ready to do your Google Forms. Buena suerte. Good luck. You are allowed to do your Google Forms more than once. So please mind your spelling, mind your capitals and punctuations, and you must also make sure to put in your accent marks. Adios.